hopefully some kids can learn from it, but just don't get caught.
I'm down to dunk.
And I'm down to dunk. I'm down to dunk. This is J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lindy Waters, and I'm down to dunk. I'm Mike Muscala, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kenneth Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to dunk.
Will you say this is Lou Dort and I'm down to Dort?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
Cracklin Oat Bran?
Have you had Cracklin Oat Bran?
No,
No. Okay.
but it's healthy.
Are you a big oat brand guy?
I'm a big Oat Bran guy.
Okay.
I think I would switch it with Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, eat faster. Don't put as much in the bowl.
You have a gallon of milk I can also take home.
You don't have milk at home?
One cinnamon toast.
Okay.
Crunch. Yeah. Cereal is great. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1-3-4-7 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down to dunk and get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew.
I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool, pretty damn cool. Woo!
Slam through.
Taylor.
Fry pods back. All right. All right. Slam through. Slam through.
And Jay.
It's Jay.
Oh my God, Jay's back again.
I am not. I did actually want to do that,
You
but I was like,
should've done
if I was
Wow.
feeling like 100% myself, I probably would have. But
Wow.
I'm on the back end, hopefully, of a little bit of a head cold. So if you hear me a little bit,
What percentage are you at?
I'm back to probably 80% of my normal self.
69. No, you missed that one too. That's 2 misses already.
Yeah, see, I told you I'm not normal.
I'm not normal.
What do you all talk about, man? It's nobody cares. This is it, man. We're in the throes of
Yeah, man.
the off season.
It's hot as hell out there.
Oh man, let's start
Let's talk
this
about
thing
the
off
weather.
with the weather.
This sucks.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time outside?
Yeah,
No.
I do.
I
I mowed my yard yesterday morning, man. Try to do it before the heat really comes in.
Yeah, you got to.
It's no big deal. It's fine. It's the dad life.
I refuse to go outside.
Well, that's good. Not a lot going on in the NBA
No.
or with the Thunder specifically. You guys have roster thoughts? That's like the big topic, right?
Everyone's trying to figure out what's the rotation.
Well, and who's going to be on the
gonna be
team?
on the
Who's gonna
team?
go?
You know, that's like the big topic out there. And I think it's just funny. It's like framed as almost like a negative thing about the Thunder. Like, oh my gosh, you know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to do this because, you know, and they're going to let go of good players, which is funny because what it would really mean is the Thunder have put together one of the best 20-man rosters in the history of the league.
Yeah.
And there are so many teams just waiting and watching to see what they'll do because
Teams
they
that
can't
were worse at building their team.
yeah, they can't keep all these great players, which I don't really even agree with.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like that's like a narrative that exists.
It is
that's out there.
impossible for them to keep more than 15.
Yeah, they can't. But I'm just saying, I just don't think there's 20 like really good players on the team. That's all.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is there's for the last 4 years, 4 years, I don't know, definitely last year and this year, the national narrative about the Thunder feels negative,
Mm-hmm.
but it's actually positive.
Yeah.
And like even what you're talking about when they say, oh, they're going to have to let go of these good players, they think more positively about these players than we do as fans of the team.
100% true. Yeah.
It's just such a weird thing, isn't it? It just goes to show no one thinks about Oklahoma City very much.
Yeah.
They don't think about it enough to have a
They're starting
consistent
to.
opinion.
They're starting
Yeah,
to.
they're starting to.
Yeah. They're
Here
trying
comes,
to.
But it's
here
like they
comes
have to.
the wave
Yeah.
of interest.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
it is.
It just feels
It's on the
forced.
horizon.
I have to have a
No,
intelligent
man.
opinion
no.
of the Thunder.
It's there's a wind blowing. God, why, man? You didn't do
Yeah.
any of this while I was gone, man.
But
Here I am.
Oh, yeah. Jay, I
Good job,
was
guys.
out of control. I'm so glad you're here.
So I just went through this is the process everybody has done, and we're beating it to death. I get it. I thought Alex had a great point on the Wednesday podcast talking about not only what's best for Oklahoma City, but also what's best for the player themselves. And when he mentioned that about Trey Mann, it's probably something we would never think about because we're very Thunder centric.
Mm-hmm.
Is Trey probably would benefit more than likely from going to another team that could help him have the minutes to develop more fully. The danger of that is we've seen teams that have been detrimental to NBA careers that somebody like Trey Mann could go. Like jokingly, y'all mentioned the Charlotte, Hornets, and I'm like, he would get minutes.
He needs minutes. I mean, that's the
But
thing.
they would be, but minutes. You look at what happened in Houston. This is why I'm like, you're talking about keeping Garuba, and I'm like, I mean, who knows what Garuba is? He was playing in the most dysfunctional organization for one of the worst head coaches in the entire NBA for his entire 2-3 year career. Same thing with Ty. Like, would it surprise you if they came into training camp and they played so well that some of these guys that we've seen, JRE, Trey Mann, even Poku, we watch these guys play and we're like, man, we're going to have to cut those guys because Garuba and Ty.
Yeah,
I'd
be floored about Ty. Garuba, no, but Ty, yes.
But you get what I'm saying. Like they've played, we don't know. Like I think it's at least fair to say that we don't know who these guys who played for Houston the last couple of years actually are.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Jay, you know what else is weird is, okay, maybe this is just, I'll speak for myself here. On another team, I think a guy like Wiggins might be able to get minutes on more teams and be more beneficial to more teams than Trey Mann might, just because for Trey Mann, it would be so, going back to what you're saying, like Trey Mann's skill set, he needs good coaches and a good front office and like a good organization to really develop to be the best player he can be. And Wiggins has a skill set in which he can kind of go somewhere and be good. Like, I feel like he can just be a good basketball player. I don't think he's better than Trey Mann, but I'm just saying, like, these other teams are looking at Trey Mann more because he has more hype. He can be the scorer. He has a step back. He has all this stuff.
He's a
He
higher
has like
draft
a
pick.
flash. He's a
first round draft pick.
He has a flash about him. So other teams look at him more. But Wiggins is like that kind of solid NBA player.
Yeah, if you're one of these championship contending teams, the Bucks, the Suns, you would love to have a guy like Wiggins.
Yeah.
Now, I think in the same way we talk about the Rockets, and this is a question more than it is anything for you guys, would it be fair to make similar assumptions in the negative direction about guys that have played for this Oklahoma City team? Is this organization getting the absolute most out of these guys to where could it be that a Wiggins who's been successful here, and I think maybe where it's different is you do hear guys like Zach Lowe who are just like really like Wiggins, national guys that like Wiggins. But could it be that Wiggins is benefiting from being a part of a tremendously healthy organization with a great coach, a great system and scheme, great development? And if they were to go and play on one of these teams, maybe they wouldn't be as actualized as they have been
because they would be overlooked.
I just think maybe if the Thunder are getting every single bit of what they can out of these guys, they're going to go to a team that they need to play a specific thing in a specific way. And maybe they just don't do that or excel in the same way on different teams.
Well, I mean, look no further than Isaiah Joe.
Right.
Who
Paisley.
Yeah.
It takes a specific kind of player, and where like Trey has not thrived in it. But if you are a team player that can play defense and have a very specific skill set, you can thrive here.
Mhm.
Trey's specific skill set is I can create with the ball in my hands. And they just didn't need that last season. And they need somebody that can help accentuate other players. Like that's what they want, is for everyone to accentuate one another. And that's why a guy like Wiggins can thrive on this team.
Mhm.
And I don't think he would look as good if he were like on the Mavericks or something like that. Like Lindy Waters III, I don't think would have played for hardly any NBA teams last year, but he's playing for the Thunder in the play-in. I don't think he would have played for anybody else. I do think that the system that Marcus put in really helps.
A specific kind of player.
Yeah, it helps.
There are always guys who are going to transcend that, right? Doesn't matter what system.
There's plenty of guys on this roster that would transcend that.
But there's always these teams that you watch, these guys that you're. The first time I ever noticed this was the Sacramento Kings when they were the dumpster fire for 15 years. And I think his name was Jason Thompson. He was a power forward, played with DeMarcus Cousins. And every time he played the Thunder, it was like, this dude is unstoppable. And I always in the back of my mind was like, if he never had gotten drafted by the Kings, would he be somebody we would talk about? Not quite LaMarcus Aldridge, but will we talk about him in a different vein if he didn't go to this just wasteland that was the Kings for those years? And that's always been in the back of my mind, is I think an organization can make or break you.
Yeah.
That's why people and players are starting to realize like you want to, as much as you can, to have influence on where you go by withholding workouts or withholding medical records or whatever it might be. Like, I think the Pistons, I think it's valued. I think there's like I'd be nervous about going to Detroit.
Yeah.
I think Monty, one of the reasons they paid him so much is that he can change some of that. The Rockets before this year, I think the Rockets make a little more sense as an organization. I don't believe that statement even as it came out of my mouth. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they at least have a path they're going.
Yeah.
But I would avoid Charlotte. Like, there's a reason Victor Wembanyama was like relieved when the Spurs were the organization versus insert any of the other ones. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And getting minutes, even if you're on a bad team, getting a bunch of minutes does not up your value necessarily, because everyone else sees, well, yeah, he's getting a lot of minutes on this terrible team. But getting mid-level minutes on a really good team can sometimes be better for your career than getting starter minutes on a terrible team.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're winning, I don't know what the best situation for Trey is, to be honest, because I don't think
he had a great summer league, and this sounds negative on Trey Mann, and he could come in and be really figure it out this year.
Sure.
But he has to make the team first.
He has to make the team first.
And what Jay was saying, like, you need a good coach, good organization. That's where he is right now. So he needs that on one where they have a bad roster, or where they don't have someone who with his skill set.
Yeah,
so,
he needs the ball too.
Yeah, and
that's
so when
the
you
thing
when you
about
talk
Trey.
about those, the odds are he's not going to end up in that situation if he's not with us.
He needs the ball and zero expectations.
Yeah.
Like, who's not competing this year in the East and West?
Well,
Portland.
you said I was joking about Charlotte. I really wasn't joking about Charlotte.
I know you weren't, but I know that like everybody doesn't want anybody to go to Charlotte. Not the city, the organization. City looks great.
Well, they just sold their team.
But on his way out, your boy Michael Jordan.
Oh boy.
Also, I'm pretty sure I read something that he sold the team to the guy that he invested a lot of, like, it was like an investment.
He was
partner.
a minority partner, wasn't he? Already in the Hornets. He just took over the majority.
I think that's right.
And
but I don't know. Hopefully they make some changes. There's been like wins that they want to make like changes, because like their facilities aren't great and they have not invested a ton in the team. Hopefully that all changes for them.
Mike needed some gambling money. Sorry. The gym's fine.
The gym is fine, you guys.
The gym is fine.
Do you guys know what I grew up playing in?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm honestly not too worried about the Trey Man situation. I don't think he would have played on this team. I know he was good in summer league. That's great. I hope he gets an opportunity somewhere else because I do think he'd be buried here. I just don't. I mean, you think about all the guards that need minutes. Like they just brought in Micic. They just brought in Case and Wallace. Those are two guys that we expect to play quite a bit.
Yeah,
this season.
And Micic is what you want Trey Man to be.
Yeah, he'll be better.
Yeah.
He'll be better. Isaiah Joe needs minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dort needs minutes. J-Dub will play some guard. Wiggins will play some guard. I'm at 6. I haven't even said Shea or Josh Giddey yet.
Yeah.
So
I'm at 6 guards.
I've been just putting the roster as currently constructed into like some sort of form that I think makes sense.
Yeah.
This is an exercise everybody is doing. So let's just real quickly see where we can do it. I've got 12 guys that I think are untouchable on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Not untouchable, but they're going to stay on this team as currently constructed. You can correct me on any of these. Obviously, the starting 5, Shea, Dort, Giddey, J-Dub, Chet. They're not going anywhere. Isaiah Joe, Kenrich, Micic,
Like pizza.
Miza,
Oh,
Jason. You
That's
said
right.
like pizza.
yeah, pizza.
Pizza. It's a pizza.
It's a pizza.
So, all right. So starting 5 plus, here's 7 bench guys. Isaiah Joe, Kenrich Williams, Vasily, Kaysen, Wallace, Jay Will, Wiggins, and Usman Jang. Okay. So those are that's 12 guys that I think aren't going anywhere. Then you get into the who could potentially get cut, get waived, get traded. I think Poku and Bertans are the ones that we're assuming will stay on this roster,
I think so.
which puts us at 14, which leaves one player out of these 6. Oladipo, Jack White, JRE, Trey Man, Ty Ty, and Garuba.
How do you do? So Jack White is what's his contract?
It's $600,000 or $600,000 guaranteed, but they could, he can waive it and he could make that money and just move on. But he cannot, for clarification,
But why are we hearing so much about Jack White?
because he's a friend of Giddy's, I guess. He's Australian. His name
Is he like really,
from the White
really
Stripes.
good though? I mean, like, is it warranted that we're hearing so much about Jack White?
I mean, he basically has been invited to compete for a roster spot.
Okay. And that's about all that we need to care about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know how he'll perform in camp. I mean, he may be better than Garuba and all those guys, and he may get the last spot. I think it's more likely that he gets cut.
Did he get there through?
He was actually just signed.
He get there through being Giddy's friend. Like, hey, give my friend a try.
Are they really friends or are they just both Australian?
I don't know.
All Australians are friends.
Because didn't they bring in like Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook's brother to?
KD's.
KD's
Played
but,
on
Tony Durant,
but just
baby.
on the summer league
Yeah.
team, not on like a
So I think that's like a
roster thing.
Jay is.
I'm fine.
Wow.
It's my first time.
Wow.
He's
Um,
nervous. He's nervous. It's like
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I know that they know each other. I don't know how like close they are. Jack's like quite a bit older, and like Jack like went to Duke, and it's not like he was on the team with Josh.
Yeah.
Jack's been in the United States for a long time playing basketball.
Hmm.
So I don't know. He's on the Nuggets. Some Nuggets people think favorably of him. Australian people think very favorable of him. I don't know. We'll see. I think the Thunder obviously have some interest in him, and he's kind of a 3-4 hustle guy.
Yeah. Kenrich.
So
Those guys seem to excel
here,
for this team.
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, would it shock me if Jack White made the team? No. Do I think he's going to? No. But we'll see.
Okay, everyone pick one of those 6 that Jay said. Prediction.
List them again, Jay.
And if we're doing predictions now, you could go
Is
into
this guys that stay or
TFFD.
guys that go?
Well,
Like, what are we
have
making
one-
the prediction of?
We have
Who's-
one more that stays.
So we're just going to move Poku and Bertans up to the staying.
Yeah, I think
So,
that's
okay.
fair. I think
So you
that's
have
fair.
one guy out of Garuba, Ty Ty, Trey Man, JRE, Jack White, and Victor Oladipo.
Yeah. I just have a weird suspicion that it's going to be Garuba, but also 2 teams could not trade him for positive value, so that may not be that may not be true because like Houston and Atlanta, and a lot of people think like, oh, if Sam Presti got a hold of him, he's gonna do blankety blank. I don't know that. I mean, those teams made calls too to everybody. Hey, would you like Usman Garuba? Would you like to give us a second round pick for Usman Garuba? And they all said no, thanks. So I don't know. I don't know why I think that. I kind of think they just need to keep one big for that group. And Jack White could be considered a big, but I would like a big that can play the center position. And so
are you putting JRE on that group then?
I mean, JRE could be. I mean, he's a big.
Yeah.
I've kind of seen enough with JRE. I just don't think he's going to truly make the rotation. And so I kind of would like to cycle in somebody else.
Unbelievable.
I'd like to cycle in somebody else and just see what Garuba's got or see what Jack White's got.
Yeah.
But it could end up being Jeremiah too.
I'm from that. I'm picking Oladipo.
Okay.
I think that they'll keep him because eventually he'll have trade value. They can keep him, rehab him. He'll come back, and that'll be great.
That could happen.
I could see it.
I'm gonna go with I'm between Jack White and JRE because I think I can see them like rewarding JRE.
Yeah.
If they're trying to pick between Jack White and JRE.
Yeah. It's possible.
But I'm gonna go with the Jack White.
Okay.
Because that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Jay?
Fumble. Drop something, break something.
Trey Man.
Trey Man. Okay. That's good. That's 4 different answers.
Good.
That's good.
Well, we'll
Now
see.
you get how'd you guys like to make it interesting?
Oh, wait. Okay, let's do this. Also, after this can go into TFFD. It's in the same category if you're ready for
Jack
that.
White is playing for the Australia team in the World Cup. So
Yeah, he is.
we get to see that.
Soccer? Wow, interesting.
Yeah, for most people that are going to be listening to this podcast, they would know that there's a large world tournament that a lot of Thunder players are going to be playing in.
Cool. So I've got the
Poku.
Poku's going to play. Yeah.
Yep.
He's looking good. Have you guys seen the photo of him?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Thick,
yeah.
man. Getting
It's
big.
getting passed around. I'll put it here in the stream.
Lifting
I have it
weights.
locked and loaded.
That picture's hotter than
I'm no. I
Britney
don't-
Spears
seen
getting
it?
slapped by
You seen it,
Wemby's
L-Man?
guy.
Yeah, it's from behind it. Yeah, I
Just don't believe it.
it's
Don't believe it.
nothing to me.
I think he looks
One, you
swole.
You can't even tell it's him.
It's true.
Yes,
It might
you
not-
sure can.
You can.
Yes,
It's
you
the
can.
head.
That could be
That's a freak
100
head.
guys.
You are that is just not true.
There's
That is
not
just-
100 guys in the
It's not
world that
true,
look
man.
like Poku.
Not true, Luke.
It's not true.
There's not 2 guys in the world
I
that
don't
look
think.
like Poku.
I don't think this is.
He's 101, Luke.
He's a genuine freak.
There's nothing.
okay.
There's nothing.
Freakazoid.
This doesn't do anything to me. I have no reaction to this.
I think he's starting now.
no.
Don't you dare. Do we need to talk about whether or not Giddey gets moved so Poku can move into the starting lineup? Tune in
Giddey's
next
gonna
week.
Play better with Mitza.
He's gonna be. They're gonna cut Giddey just so that Poku can play in the starting lineup.
Pepperoni Mitsic.
I do. I do think there's a chance we see some Poku Jet Twin Towers.
I do. I want Poku to stay on the team long enough to see that.
I think we have a question here from our friend Robbie in Twitter questions. Yeah. At Rob Spencer 02. How many Poku plus Chet minutes are we going to get this year? I want it and I need it. I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfectly put.
Yeah. You're right. And you're thinking. I think we're going to see it. I think they're going to see lots of combinations of players, and I think the Thunder won 40 games last year, screwing around with their rotations the entire season, really up until like the last 2 weeks, and they won a lot of games because I do think that the Thunder are hard to scout just because you don't know week to week who they're going to play. Like you look at the scouting report from the previous week. Well, now this week we're playing like 3 different guys than we did last week. And so I think it is like a strange advantage that I think they can gain throughout the season. And the Poku Jet Twin Towers will be
hard.
It'll be something.
It's hard for me to think, oh, look how buff Poku's getting when we have J-Dub. who
it's
is
true.
like
Truly buff.
buff man.
You didn't get
Buff man.
You didn't get Buff Muff Man.
That's what
You-
buff man.
buff Buffman.
He's ripped.
Okay. Well, you didn't get Buffkin Boys, but you did get Buff Boys.
Yeah, it's true. We did not get Buffkin boys.
You got
J-Dub and
Muff
Poku.
Boys right here.
By the way, there's this picture of Kobe Buffkin after the draft holding out this Atlanta Hawks hat with just a tinge of sadness on his face holding this hat out. Just like, this is not where I wanted it to be.
He could do well
It's
there.
funny. I just don't know that there's a ton of opportunity for him there, but we'll see.
Why did they draft him?
Why did the Hawks do anything they
Anything.
do? I
They
don't
could have had Garuba.
know. They could have had Garuba.
Pepperoni Meatsich.
Pepperoni Meatsich.
Meatsich.
It's a meat situation. Meatsich.
Yeah, pepperoni meats sitch.
Or your
good.
your meats itch.
There you
Okay,
go,
let's
dude.
go to
Better.
that's
itch.
much better.
Your meat's itch.
That's a better way to remember it. Definitely.
Oh my god.
That's stuck.
I'm blind.
Please. If anybody from the Thunder are listening, that has to be the way it is in the media guide. Meats dash itch.
Meats itch.
I think that's how McKelly was telling me to say it, and then
Yeah.
I did a pod with Vizzini this week, and that's how he was saying it too. So I think that's how you say it. All right, we
All right.
ready? We ready?
St. John's factoid bigger in victory. St. John's factoid bigger in victory.
Reddit does a cool thing, NBA Reddit every year, where they will go back to like popular threads from 5 years ago. So it's like, hey, in 5 years, which player is going to be better? And then we go back and we look and we see how ridiculous everything is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some really good ones in here. So I want to talk about this. And this is stuff like here's the very first one. Who will be the better player in 5 years, Luka or Ayton? So we have some
Wow.
good stuff like this in here.
Yeah, there's some good juice in there.
Better player.
So what's the
and-
answer? I'm just kidding.
Better player, Embiid, Jokic, Simmons, or Cat. So it's like a good reminder of like what was the conversation like 5
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah,
and a good reminder that most of what we're talking about
Embiid,
means
Jokic.
nothing.
Jokic, and then
Simmons or Cat.
Yeah, people thought very highly of Ben Simmons. I mean, he fell
Yeah.
off a cliff.
Yeah.
And now there's like the only thing positive that's been said about him in the last year and a half was just on a podcast where his teammates are like, he's been working hard.
That's been the last 3 years.
So we'll see.
Here's a really
I hope
good
so,
one.
buddy. You're making ridiculous amounts of dollars to do nothing.
Yeah.
At
This
least work out.
This next one has to be from an OKC guy because he says, what NBA player will be forgotten in 5 years? I'm talking about guys like Byron Mullins, who spent 1 to 2 years in
Forgotten.
the NBA, never good, and was forgotten. And then he predicts that he thinks Maxi Kleber would be the guy. This was
Wrong.
5 years ago. Wrong.
Incorrect.
Wow.
Wrong.
Good player.
Good
Yeah.
job. Second comment on this, because he was asking who they think would be forgotten. Second comment, it's an OKC guy. Can you guess who it
From
would
5
be?
years ago?
5 years ago.
From 5 years ago.
When I say it, I'm not going to let you guess for very long.
Mitch McGarry?
No.
How long ago was 5 years ago?
So Samaj
2018?
is the answer.
Samaj.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Gone but never forgotten. In
Gone
our
but
hearts.
never forgotten.
Yeah, never forgotten.
I have one more.
He,
Than I
he
have
delivered
a
Russ
question.
the MVP
He sure did.
By being so awful.
by being so bad that the on-off numbers were just massive. I think that was a play from Sam, honestly, to find the worst point guard possible
Yeah.
to just to show like the difference between Russ
To accentuate
and the worst
the-
guy in the league.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Does my memory serve correctly that Samaj hitting a 3 was the assist that
Yes.
gave Russ the
He hit
record?
a corner 3
Yeah, he did.
against
The
the
triple-double
Nuggets
record.
Yeah, right
to
corner.
get the triple-double record.
That's awesome, man. I have
That's what I'm
one
saying,
more.
not
That's
forgotten.
awesome, man.
That's freaking awesome, man. I got one more and then I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Predictions for All-Star 5 years from now. This was really fun. So he guessed the West guards. DSJ.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Yes.
Wow.
Jamal Murray, which 5 years ago he was on the Mavs and people were like, he is going to be good because he kind of had some. He was so athletic,
So athletic. Yeah.
good defender. He really looked like a guy that could be someone.
He's still in the league, but he's not.
Sure is. His sleeper
Is he
pick.
back with the Hornets?
No.
re-signed him?
Who did he sign with? He signed with somebody.
Detroit?
No. I don't remember who he signed with.
He was on Brooklyn last.
No, he was at Charlotte.
He was with Charlotte.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right.
His sleeper picks for the West 5 years ago were Steven Adams and Nerlens Noel.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. You know that Reddit has a thing where if like they have bots that if you ask them to do certain things, they'll do it. And one of them is like, hey, remind me this.
Yeah.
And it searches for the word remind me. And then in X number of years. And if you do that, it reminds you in that many years.
Okay.
So that's probably where those came from.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good context.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my question. But just make a prediction for 5 years from now. You think it could be anything. NBA
I guess
wide.
he is with the Nets. Dennis Smith.
He's with the Nets right now.
2028.
2028. It could be NBA wide. It could be OKC specific. Whatever. And we're gonna make a prediction.
Societal?
And I'm going to make a reminder on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 years from now, because we'll probably still be doing this. I don't know. Seems like a long time, but this is 11 seasons, so who knows?
Yeah.
Well, one of us is probably going to die. Luke.
Put that in your reminder.
Is that
my
your prediction?
That's the
Luke's-
pot calling the kettle black.
I had a reminder.
Dead.
I had a reminder in my phone that was basically like, talk to Luke about something.
Yeah.
And it was so vague.
Yeah.
And it was like 8 months later that we had a conversation on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then it just popped back on my reminders. I was like, Luke, I was supposed to talk to you about something, but maybe it's vacation days. You
bring
taking
it
your vacation days?
Oh, I think that's what it was.
Oh, yeah. It probably was that. Well, they don't really matter anymore.
Oh, when you're your own boss, man,
in charge,
you never
yeah.
take vacation.
Yeah.
In 5 years,
In 5 years.
In 5 years, Josh Giddey, 2-time All-Star.
Oh, okay. Let me write these.
does it have to be Thunder specific?
It can be whatever you want. It can be
5 years.
about pizza. The future of pizza.
Josh Giddey, 2-time All-Star in 5 years. That's good. I'll say OKC. Chip. 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, how great would that be?
Chip. Big old Chip. 5 years though. That's our timeline.
What are we gonna do for the parade, guys? I don't want to just go
We're gonna
and
put this on the float. We're gonna put the desk on the float.
Oh,
that would be cool.
It's not making it.
let's get a float, guys.
We need to partner with a car dealership that has a car that everyone can just flip as many times as we want,
Oh, yeah.
so that we don't start flipping cars on the street.
Oh, okay.
because
like-
you got to get the flip
And I got to
out.
start doing pull-ups so I can
On
do
a
pull-ups on traffic lights. But because right now, could I do one? Probably not.
Could I hang on to a traffic light for very long? Could I
No.
get onto a traffic light?
Probably could.
None of those
Probably not.
answers is yes.
So I need to really work on my grip strength,
Yeah.
climbing, and then pull-ups, so I
feel
can
like
do
you
it.
have pretty. Let me see your hands.
No,
Let me see them.
no.
The little hands,
They're little.
little hands.
I wish I had little
In
baby
5
doll hands.
years.
I could lift up.
In 5 years,
Luke's dead.
2028.
gosh, I keep thinking about like LeBron James still in the NBA.
Oh.
No.
5 years.
Do you want to say that?
No.
That can be your prediction.
There's no way.
No way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
No way.
It's just in the NBA.
I mean, he'll be a part of the NBA in some capacity.
The logo.
yes.
Will he be on a team as a player?
No.
No. 5 years.
No. 5 years. No way.
So who will be the MVP 5 years from now? That's a good one.
Garuba.
Maybe someone like DSJ.
In 5 years,
seen his
the
defensive
MVP. It's too easy to say Vic Oladipo.
Oladipo. Yeah.
No, it's too
Huge.
easy to say Wembanyama, right?
I
No.
mean, we
Just
haven't seen him
say it.
play one game yet. So
Am I abnormally unhyped about Anthony Edwards?
What do you mean?
There's a lot of people that are like, I even like on the Hoop Collective. Remember when Kevin Durant and the World Cup?
Yeah, I heard that.
This could be Anthony Edwards.
Dude,
Kevin Durant.
that is
moment.
that was a weird state. That's a weird callback. Like, why do you have to call all the way back to Kevin Durant for Anthony Edwards? That was just weird. That was weird to me.
Same player is what I felt like they were saying.
Yeah, that was weird. That didn't make any sense at all to me.
I do remember the World Cup where Kevin Durant established himself, but I don't think anybody in their right mind would ever compare young Anthony Edwards to young Kevin Durant, right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's out here thinking that Ant Edwards is going to be a top 3 player in the league next year.
No. How about in 5 years, the Grizzlies will have totally fallen apart?
Okay, that's gonna be 2 years.
I like that.
I like it.
Okay, I have one. It's not about the NBA. In 5 years, DC Comics movies will be as highly regarded and thought of as on the same level as Marvel movies.
Whoa!
Please write all of that down.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a reminder
James Gunn, man.
visit this.
That's what I think.
To visit this podcast.
Okay.
So I don't have to write them
Because
down.
right now, they're trash.
Yeah.
What episode number
Did you watch
is
The
this?
Flash?
I haven't seen it. I've
I
just
haven't.
heard
The show?
The new one. The
the
movie.
movie.
Oh, the movie. No.
I've heard it. I mean, they spent so much money on it. It's made no money back.
I wouldn't watch Oppenheimer.
I haven't seen it yet.
Have you seen Barbie?
No, I want to.
I think I know why The Flash didn't do well. They didn't do a good job promoting it. I actually went to Flicks when it was opening weekend for Flash, and they had a guy in a Flash costume there that you could take pictures with. Guess
It's
the
actually-
weight of this guy.
275.
Yes,
My man.
huge.
Really?
A fat guy in a Flash suit.
Can't say that.
Sorry.
honestly.
A 275 guy in a Flash suit.
I think they did a ton of advertising for it. The problem
They're
was
trying to avoid advertising Ezra Miller.
Their main star is a criminal, and they could not advertise with him.
And not just a normal criminal,
Yeah,
With, like
that's,
a multitude of crimes that he's been.
a kidnapping criminal.
Yeah.
that's not ideal. You guys seen Spider-Verse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
awesome.
It's so good.
It's
I
the best.
took my oldest son Asher to see it yesterday.
so
very-
good.
it's
No,
very
2
good.
days ago. 2 days
It's
ago.
very good.
Yeah, it was very good.
I went with Kate and she was like, oh, I didn't know this was going to be a cartoon. I was like, no, it's not. Just trust me.
It's not any cartoon.
Just trust me. And then at the end, she said, okay, you were right. That was really cool.
Can I
Yeah.
also just, y'all are probably smarter than me and paid more attention.
Mm-hmm.
When it ended with the to be continued, I was like, what? I had no idea that it was part 1 of 2.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know
Until
that
I
either.
watched it, I was like, huh?
But
I was
it
like, man,
when-
this feels
but at the
long. How
end
are they
when-
going to resolve this?
At the
Yeah.
end, when this is happening, I was like, this is not going to finish in this movie.
I started to realize
It
that,
would
and I was
be.
like, well,
It would
apparently-
actually be bad if they did resolve
Well, that's
it
what
that
the
quickly.
I think
Right,
the
yeah, that's
writers, either the writers, producer, whoever it was, but somebody said we had too much content and it was all too good. We didn't want to cut it, so we just made it into 2 movies.
I would
It
agree.
was so
There
good.
wasn't
So good. It was
anything
so
in that
good.
movie that I felt like was unnecessary.
I love this.
I thought
movie.
everything was
Do you
good.
know that there's several different versions of the movie? And so, like, the version that I
Saw
saw
that.
maybe is different than what you
just
saw.
slightly different.
Like different reactions and like different, like if like things on something's like in like a thought level or something, it might
What?
be different.
Seriously?
Yes, which is so freaking cool
Yeah.
because that's
How
like the thing that's
So they
happening
like
in the
send
movie.
a different version to like every theater.
Not
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
theater,
How many
but
versions are there?
I think there's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's just different like reaction shots of different characters.
So it's like
The
the story.
plot's the
The
same,
storyline's the
story's the
same.
same,
Storyline's
yeah,
the same.
But it's just like different. Like
what if they
like
really
art
went
pieces
in
that are
on
different?
that and then each
Hmm.
main character was swapped? So instead of it being Miles, it was Gwen.
Yeah.
That's the main character.
So
Although
you-
Gwen was kind of the main character a little bit anyway.
So you had to see it.
Yeah,
Great
I think
movie.
I think Gwen
It was
the main
awesome.
character. Yeah, it
I
was good.
Loved
I liked
it.
it. Liked
It
it
was
a lot.
great.
Sorry for any spoilers, guys.
Yeah.
At this point, it's been out for over a month. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been out for a long
also,
time.
there's no spoilers when the end hasn't been defined.
it's true.
But that's
The,
a spoiler. in
That's a
itself.
spoiler though.
Oh,
That's a healthy spoiler. Like, you need to know that. Like, I was really surprised that Oppenheimer was 1 of 2.
don't tell me that. I'm going to see it next week.
Are you?
I
don't know.
want to. I
Christopher
hope to.
Nolan is just on a different plane than all of us. Like, I don't- it's one of those movies that I'm watching. I'm like, I know this is a masterpiece in so many ways. And I don't know, like it's not a movie that you leave and you're just like, that movie really touched me or made me feel a certain way, other than just like, huh. Okay.
That's how I felt after the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, similar.
Do you guys think you could pick your favorite Christopher Nolan movie?
Yes. Interstellar.
Really?
Yeah.
I
It's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
But like my favorite
I love
movies
Interstellar.
happen to be Christopher Nolan movies. I'm not like a Christopher Nolan guy, but I guess I am. Because Dark Knight
Oh, all of the Batmans.
Yeah,
were
they're
and
very good.
Interstellar.
Yeah, they're very good.
Have you seen Prestige?
Yeah, Prestige is so good.
I
fantastic.
think that might be my favorite one.
Memento,
I've not seen Memento.
so
I
good.
have. It's very, very confusing. You know what I'm watching right now?
Inception.
I had
Inception.
two of my great friends recommend me to watch The Bear on Hulu.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
I haven't seen it.
Really in on
It's
it.
good.
It's good.
I'm not watching a lot of like shows right now. You know?
I'm not either. Not watching a lot of telly.
I'm watching a lot of television, but it's professional wrestling.
Oh,
It's just so much
well, that's what The Bear is.
professional.
Yeah,
I'm in.
sorry, it's different.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. And after that, we're going to answer some Twitter questions. Hey, we're back after that quick break.
I have a short deep dive.
Oh, you do? Okay.
It's a
A deep dive.
advice. Well, one, Twitter changed, and so you can't get DMs from people you don't know. It changed that automatically, so I have not been able to get DMs from people, but I've changed it, so I'm going to fix it next week and get it. But I don't sleep very well. Do we all know this? I don't sleep a lot.
I didn't know.
Like
that.
I stay up really late.
You sleep like a psychopath,
There we go.
where you'll take like from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. a nap,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
then get up until 1 or 2 in the morning.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
psycho.
That
Yeah.
is
Well, I thought,
behavior.
I would like to sleep better.
Oh,
You know, and I found an app that's going to help me. I think do that because it has a game that it encourages you to sleep.
Pikmin sleepy.
No, it's Pokemon Sleep,
It's Pokemon sleepy time.
and it helps me sleep because
Is it just Jigglypuff singing to you?
no, it's Snorlax. You get rewarded for sleeping better,
Oh, okay.
and it records me. And found out I snore.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
it records you.
Yeah, it records like if you like talking to sleep or something.
Oh, so
it
you like
records
turn it on.
It's
when
like
sleepy
on
time.
while you plug it in. It's laying next to you, so it feels like
You
your
like gain
movement.
experience points from sleeping.
Yes, and it tells you how
Wow.
much like you're deep sleep and you're not deep sleep and all that.
So you can sleep, but you need for there to be a
Incentive,
goal. Yeah,
yeah.
incentive.
Well, it's just going to help me be better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's good,
Yeah.
but it's also strange.
I have to set my bedtime on the little game, and I set my bedtime, and I'm rewarded if I'm in bed by that time.
Oh, I gotta go to bed. Snorlax says I have to go to bed now.
I think it's going to help. I'll let you guys know.
Let us know. Keep us
Please.
updated.
Hey, I'm making fun of it, but I encourage this because I think you just getting more sleep is going to
We
be
could
one
be-
of the best things for your life.
We could be friends on it.
I don't know.
gonna be too easy
Like
for me.
knowing the reality that you don't sleep very well, and just knowing who you are and being around you for 11 years. Like, will we like the version of Luke that gets
It's a
sleep?
lot better sleep. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, jury's out.
It's going to be like really philosophical. And
Just incredibly deep thinking.
It's going to be great.
so during my Snorlax sleep last night, I came to
I had
a
this
realization.
epiphany.
Gentlemen,
our responsibility.
Let's discuss. That's gonna be great. So that's my advice. Everyone get it and add me as a friend. So I can get
What's
more.
it called? Pokemon Sleep?
Pokemon Sleep. It came out this week.
What would be the value of them producing that?
I don't know.
They feel guilty for how much sleep they've taken away from people.
No, here's the thing. You can buy stuff on it. You
There
can
it
spend
is.
money on it.
While you're sleeping, it's like playing ads to you. You're like subconsciously receiving advertisements.
That could be real.
Jimmy, I would imagine.
Wait. I am blindly selecting these
Well, that's a fun game.
pads on here because, and I know where some of them are because I've had to, and this will be my miffed and peeved later. Well, I'll talk about it later.
Twitter questions. You got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Now let's get down to it.
More like X questions.
The problem is like you don't type in www.x.com. You still type in www.twitter.com.
I don't know. I finally deactivated my Twitter. Let's see if it lasts.
I want to, but Twitter's so funny.
Mine's not even it. Mine's not the funniness of Twitter. It's the immediate news gratification. Like I like to know what's going on when it happens, and that's one of the things that Twitter has created in me. And now I'm like, it's like a fix that I need.
Yeah,
where I feel like I'm in the dark. I'm like, where do you get news now that Twitter's gone?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's just I think I'm detoxing, which is okay.
just get on and surf the web, man.
Yeah,
There's a news app, or get on Reddit.
not the same.
Get on Reddit and there's
Reddit-
a news. There's a news Reddit.
I don't need more things that are time sucks. I need less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't spend as much time on Reddit for some reason.
Oh, Reddit is the black hole.
I don't
Really?
either.
Yeah, it is a black hole.
Like you can just next thing you know, you're like, it's just like they're all created to keep you engaged in the
But
app,
do you
guys.
follow your specific ones that just you want
Yeah,
to follow?
most of the time. I don't. I'm not on Reddit.
So we'll get on it.
No,
Then you just get to follow your stuff.
Did you just hear me?
No, but you need to though.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, hey, what am I going to do? I'm like, Instagram Reels is already the thing that takes them way more time in my life than it should.
Yeah, it's true.
Really?
Just
You can just sit there.
it's
and just
TikTok for old people.
Yeah, that's true.
TikTok.
God, I will watch so many food, like people cooking, like
Yeah,
recipe
dogs.
videos.
I have too many dogs in my Reels, which I
Yeah,
love.
dog.
Yeah, dog.
You got that dog in you, Instagram Reels.
So what? Y'all want to answer some Twitter questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
Twitter questions.
I forgot what that song was all
Our
about.
first Twitter question comes from at Ali Karamazov, who wants to know the highest number of minutes played between Wiggins, Poku, Kason, or Ding.
Ding.
Ding is a Chinese restaurant in Bethany, and that's not a joke. It's real.
good?
So
It's pretty
don't
good.
cancel me.
It's pretty
fine.
good. Ding is pretty good.
What's the best Chinese? Never mind.
Fung's
Oh,
Kitchen.
I'd love to get there.
Fung's Kitchen.
Hirui.
Speedy Walk.
I haven't had it in so long.
Speedy Walk. It's classic.
just
I know
memories,
it's
man.
just there.
It's classic. I think it'll probably be Kason or
Wiggins, man.
Ding.
Or ding.
I think it'll be one of those two.
What's the chance that
agree.
they all four split minutes at the exact same way?
It's
Wow.
possible.
Each one of them gets 12 minutes.
It's possible. It's possible. But I think Kason being the 10th pick in the draft and being a player that I think can defend from day one, I think he'll play more. I think with Jang, he's really in an interesting spot. I think there might be some out of control expectations for Jang
yeah, the hype train for him is off the
with the way
rails.
he played. And I wonder if we just need to kind of treat him the same way we treated Poku going.
Somebody
into year
told me
two.
that he basically is Paul George,
there's
a taller,
yeah, a little taller.
a
Paul
little
George.
taller Paul George.
Yeah, I think
It's like, do y'all remember him the last 2 years? Let's
Jang
just chill for a minute.
Jang is going to take some time, and that's okay. I think he's there. He may have a G League stint. I think that it's going to take some time for Jang.
Yeah.
So I think we need to like pump the brakes a little bit and kind of treat him the way that we did Poku, the first couple years.
With love, admiration,
Yes.
joy.
Yeah.
He's just not as fun.
He's not as fun as Poku.
Like-
Why is that?
Because with Poku, you just never know when he's going to do something completely insane
yeah.
that
sure.
makes no sense and should not be in an NBA basketball game.
Poku, can you see
Usman like is a
Jang-
basketball player. Like he kind of does what he does.
And whenever Us is bad, it's because he's fading into the background.
Yes.
When Poku's bad, it's because
he has taken the spotlight.
he's whipping the ball at the side of the backboard and just
He's just chaos, man.
Here's a question:
Missing
Can
the
you
People drawn to
opposite.
chaos.
can you imagine Jang trying a behind the back
Oh.
pass on a fast break?
yeah, I mean he can do that
Yeah, but he would
But
actually.
can you
connect it.
imagine him doing?
Like, can you
it?
imagine him doing it and throwing it into
into
the
the third
Michael
row.
Cage's hands? Or whatever?
Yeah, probably not. He would execute it well if he did it.
What's the chance?
He looks too. He's so much more athletic than Poku too. Like he
He's more
looks
fluid.
natural.
Yeah, he's way more fluid. Yeah.
What's the chance that the Thunder TV thing get situated like the Jazz or the Suns.
I have no idea.
What?
Love that.
What's the point, man? You're this guy now. And you don't even have the answers for
I have
me.
no idea. I would love for that to be the case.
It would be
I think it would
the
make
best.
so much sense, especially
start the petition, guys.
going into this era of Thunder basketball.
To have it to where you could access it just with an antenna on your TV.
It'd be great.
Antenna.
It'd be
An
great for
antenna.
everyone.
I can't
We gotta-
speak, man. I have
It'd be
nasal
great.
congestion.
It'd be
Get the
great for-
antenna.
They do.
It'd be great.
They need
Great
the
for-
older fans to be able to watch. These
Yeah,
games,
you need
though.
the Brian Dickersons out there, guys, watching
Exactly.
them
That's
television.
exactly right.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey guys, let's talk about our next Twitter question. It comes from @CowboyJim, who says, "Sell me on Mitchich. I don't care much for him because he didn't want to come to OKC when we first traded first rights to sign. Not sure he wants to be here still. Am I wrong?"
Get over that.
Am I wrong?
Get
Am I
over that.
wrong?
That sounds, and trust me, as the quintessential down to dunk, small city inferiority complex guy, just get over it. This is a business. He didn't want to come because he didn't want to be a part of a team that was intentionally not trying to be good. He's here now. I am Usman Jing level hype about Micic.
Yeah,
Meets itch works, doesn't it?
I said it.
I know. I'm surprised Luke.
I'm
didn't-
still going with meat situation, like Micic.
Yeah.
Makes me feel less awkward. I think my chair is sinking, and I'm just
Yeah, I was
getting
gonna
that's the
say,
worst
it does
chair.
do that.
That
I
was
was
gonna
sat
say.
in that chair last week.
Father.
That one needs a little work.
Yeah, it happens. It's fun when it happens.
there we go. I was like,
Whoa.
"Where's Jay?" Like he's
Like I feel tiny. It's rare in my life.
yeah. I would.
That's all right,
Jay,
Sitch.
Jay is back.
Now that's a meat sitch.
All right, let's go
Let's
to
go
our
again.
next Twitter question. It comes from @G Kaprinsky 79028, who does not have a question. He just wants to say that either the Josh Hall Poku game at the end of season, as we were trying to tank for high pick, or Bird Night, must be in the Rebuild Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree with both of those. That they should both be. And
Is that Clippers game?
Yeah, the last game where it was just Daniel Oturu was posted up like 50 times.
That's the difference between Evan Mobley and Josh Giddey.
Yeah, technically yes.
We also did we talk about does the Muscala 3 against the Heat? Is that too early?
No, it would definitely qualify. It would definitely qualify.
And if you don't know what we're talking about on Wednesday's podcast, Alex and Andrew did a little, moments from the rebuild.
Yeah, we're starting the Rebuild and Replenish Hall of Fame.
Just as much of old podcasts of Alex losing his mind that you can play. Just the appreciation is off the charts
He
here.
was so mad during that show.
What am I supposed to do with this?
He was so
I'm
mad.
sorry, I'm not going to be excited about Andrew Wiggins or Aaron Wiggins setting screens.
He was so mad.
All right, our next Twitter question. It comes from @PileOfBricks, who says OKC ownership was eventually prepared to go into the tax to contend, but prior to that had asked players to make sacrifices on their first big contracts in a cost-cutting effort. If we do have 4 guys worthy of max or near max money, will ownership expect similar sacrifices to be made?
Probably.
Is that a fair way to define what took place? Was it the ownership asking, or is it when you're building a team, is the organization, Sam Presti, all of them together saying, hey, in order to craft this roster as well as we can, I don't know. This feels like people with money telling people who are trying to get money that you need to sacrifice. Like it feels insensitive or whatever.
I don't know for sure what the
Where it
order
came
of operations was there, but I do think they will ask players to make some kind of sacrifice.
But they'll also I just think they pay him. Put that on my 5 years, Taylor. They're just going to pay all these guys.
Yeah.
And they'll sort it out when it's time.
Yeah. I mean, if
They're gonna go into the
they're
luxury
good
tax.
enough, yeah.
Especially if they're going to be in the championship in a couple years.
That's right.
Okay. Our
Next year.
next Twitter
Next
question
year.
before I leave for work It is
We can
this.
make this our last one.
It's from @LoganGoodner7, who says, if you get to take Meat Sitch to a restaurant that you think best represents OKC, where do you take him?
Would you take him to the ranch?
Yeah, probably.
It's like
Probably.
really good. Probably like some of the best food in the city.
Yep. It's a nice environment.
Good
It
environment.
represents the city.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite restaurant, but it's
It's
up there.
probably wouldn't be my favorite.
Oklahoma City. This is going to sound like somebody that's probably never traveled, and I get all that. Oklahoma City has a great restaurant scene.
It does.
Like Frida Southwest is still my favorite place in the city.
It's
I love
amazing.
that place.
It's so good.
But yeah, you can go to great steakhouses across the whole city. There's
Yeah.
yeah,
What
but that's what I would do.
Steakhouse.
Don't go to Cattleman's, guys.
Don't go
Listen, I went to Cattleman's the other day. Not bad. It wasn't awful, but it's just that is old school Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And when you take somebody there, you're like conceding, oh yeah, we're still this little farm town.
Yeah,
that has
it-
cowboys and cows and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Like,
Like,
it's in the village. It's like, what are you
we're
seeing
talking about the
there?
ranch.
Oh,
We're
the
talking
ranch.
about
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You literally.
I just
worked
came back. I
against
got
our
excited
form.
about steak.
We said the ranch would be a good spot to go. Ranch is awesome.
Yeah. It's
And
in the village.
it
It's a
does-
great place.
It does have a rusticy like kind of vibe,
Yeah.
but it feels higher class.
I'm going to change my answer to Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, is this best meat sitch in
No.
OKC?
No, this is where you take Meat Sitch to show him OKC,
Meat Sitch.
the restaurant that best represents OKC.
There's two ways to do this with Meat Sitch. Is that's one, and
Mm-hmm.
then number two is where do you go that lets him see that we do have a pretty high level of dining experience. That's when you go to like the Black Walnut, the Gray Sweater, the Nunsuch,
dude,
those places.
Black Walnut, I think, is the best meal I may have ever had in my life. I'm not
Wow.
kidding.
Take him to Jimmy's Egg.
Have you eaten there?
Yeah.
Dude, I could
What
not
is it?
believe
See, it's
how
not
good
my
it
kind of
is.
I've never
jam. It's
been
kind of a tapas place.
What?
So they've got like small plates, different things like that.
Kind
It
of.
feels more like you're going to be in a different city eating those plates.
Yeah, for sure. That was one of the best meals I've ever had in my entire life.
Take
If
him
not
to-
the best.
Take him to Arby's on 23rd.
They've got the meat sitch.
They got the meats.
the
itch.
They do have the Meat Sitch.
I got the Meat Sitch.
that one too.
Yeah, for real.
Why don't you ask that last question?
Are you miffed? Are you piffed?
Miffed and peeved.
I'm miffed.
You're
Oh,
miffed.
God,
Jay's miffed.
all right.
Yeah, man. Listen, I've had the incredible luxury of having an extended period of time off because work and life and all these different things. And I asked for it and they said yes.
You're the boss.
I am the boss. No, man. That ain't me. The Lord's the
Oh,
boss.
the Lord's the boss.
Taylor.
There you go.
Yo, can I get a vacation?
He said
No.
So I've had a great July. It's been fantastic. We had a rough trip to Florida, but everything else has been really, really good. And then, of course, the last week, the whole point of this last week is I'm going to be at home. I'm just going to hang out. My wife's going to be off. She is going to be off, and we're just going to spend some time together Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Nice.
I come home from the lake where I didn't sleep well at all. Try to do an air mattress.
Oh, you need to get some Pokemon in your life.
I tried to sleep on an air mattress.
Get some
You ever slept on a-
Snorlax.
How long has it been since you've slept on an air mattress?
It's been a while.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. So I didn't sleep for like 4 days. So I came back, of course, sick. So I've been sick all this final week, and it just will not go away. You can hear it in my voice, like it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So I hate being sick. Nobody enjoys it, I don't think. But so I've been sick. They murphed and perfed me.
Murphed and perfed.
I'm going to work.
All right.
Okay.
See you guys
You
in
can just leave.
see you guys in Pokemon Sleepland.
Okay.
Andrew,
What about you, Andrew?
you had one.
About your little board?
My little board.
Yeah, your buttons.
Oh man. Yeah. It's about my computer. So the New York Times has like these specific things that have to be on the computer. For some reason, whenever I set it up, it didn't get put on the computer. And so that we tried 1,000 ways to get it on the computer. And so they were like, no, we're going to have to wipe your computer and
Oh
then
my God.
reinstall everything. And so I did that once. And they called me. They're like, it still didn't work. And so I had like set everything up, got, you have to get all your passwords. You have to like re-download everything. Like you have your like Adobe stuff that just gets wiped and you have to like go download it again and everything. I get it all back working and they call me 2 days later and they're like, hey, we have to do it again. It didn't work again. So I had to wipe my computer again.
And you're talking to some New York Italian deli guy on the phone because New York Times.
Yeah,
It's
give
true.
me a
true.
good.
We gotta wipe your computer, man. You know,
Muffalata.
you know what they say in New York? A wiped computer is as good as a wiped beep.
Yeah, that's what they said. And it was just an annoying time. It was a very annoying time. And they said, like, if I didn't do it, they were going to lock my computer up and I wouldn't be able to use it at all. And so now I'm just like, come on.
Is that a new computer?
It's the same computer I've had for a
it's
while.
the same one.
Yeah. But it's just a highly annoying time.
So sorry. About
So
that.
miffed. So peeved. Also, the clutch went out on my mower. So
Oh.
I've got to replace that.
I'm miffed. I tried to drive somewhere 2 nights ago. Car wouldn't start. Battery gone.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Which was I just driven it hours before.
Yeah.
AAA. Thank God for AAA. If you don't have AAA, really get AAA.
It's great.
It has saved me so many times. I can't tell.
Yeah.
And they do everything. So I call. They have a battery truck where they have every kind of battery on the truck. So he came out to my car at my house, looked at the battery, tested it, did all that stuff, changed it right there. So now I'm G&B.
That's awesome.
It was great.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
great.
you had to buy the battery.
Yeah.
But it was cheaper than anywhere else. So
That's good.
And you have to do the thing where you have to remove it and then take it back to the store so they can give you the refund for the recycling fee and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Where it's
yeah, right.
like, how am I supposed to get up there? My car is dead. So I'm just getting on my bike with a battery and
You gotta
just
jump.
riding up to
Yeah.
Put it in your
It's
basket.
so
I
heavy.
just put it in my basket. No, I just carry it in one hand.
All right. We'll be back Monday.
Who knows, man?
On the side of the street, it looks like you totally just jacked someone's battery.
So what does next week look like, man? Tell us. Tell everybody. You don't tell us what you're doing, but
Yeah, I
we'll
won't
be back
be
Monday.
I won't be on it. I won't be on any show next week, but you guys are going to do the pod.
God,
Rock
it's gonna
on.
not be good.
Can Al
guys.
do it with us on Friday?
I don't know. I have to ask him.
We'll have to ask.
Not my problem.
Yeah. Don't know.
Y'all do whatever it is. You want.
But I'll publish it later. But it'll be live on YouTube. And we'll just keep rolling. We are first week of August. I mean, it's going to be
It is.
Oh, Jay.
slim pickings. Slim pickings.
Next Friday, me, you, Luke, Al, Zach Lowe.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
we got to cash in that chip.
Yep. And
This-
we're gonna do it when Andrew's not
What
here.
a
Yeah.
terrible time to cash in that chip.
Like, so where is the only person I know? Not here. All right, Zach. First up, meets itch or meet sitch?
Oh man. Yeah. Anyways, that's how it'll be. So tune in next week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.